G'day mate, and welcome back to Factorio with me, Jitty. You know, the second you stop thinking about a problem, you instantly come up with the answer. Well, that's exactly what happened to me at the end of the last episode. I was trying to work out a way, a good way at least, whilst dealing with Aquilo heat pipes, and of course trying to maintain my beacon count, to make sure I could get our lithium onto both sides of the belt. And after stumbling around with it for a couple of minutes, I gave up. There was no time left in the episode. Of course, the second I stopped the recording, I instantly came up with the answer, and that was a very, very simple split up. It has a priority to fill the top side of the belt, which these two are going to fill the bottom side of the belt, and that gives us the magic, 261 being, on this side it's going to be 130, on that side it's going to be another 130. That gives us the full belt we need to come down here to our smelting area. Our smelting area is pretty much a carbon copy of what I had originally, except one minor change. On the bottom we have 8 furnaces. 8 furnaces are going to bring in 81 and process out 121, being a half a belt's worth. On the top side, I actually have 9, and I only have 9 because I chose to share the beacons from above, because we have some offset beacons because of heat pipes. Because I have offset beacons on the top and not on the bottom, rather than having, the last guy has 4 beacons because he's special, but then we go 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Last guy at this end only has 3 because the one at this end has an extra one. On the top side, we have 5 because he's extra lucky, and then 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, and 3, and there 2. Sorry, and those are extra machines having less than 4 beacons, causing me to need a whole extra furnace. We still get out 128, and of course 121. The total being over the 240, which I need to fill a full belt. The catch is it's a little bit offset. If I just slid the whole thing down and mirrored the bottom side and the top side, well, I would have had a full belt out, nice and easy. But I would have had to put down more beacons, more power. Prefer not to. Anyway, that is our build for our lithium plate, but that also brings us to a new problem. And let's actually swipe the whole area this time. That is, I have an extra 94 lithium. 94 lithium I can't really do anything about, apart from turning the lithium plate. Technically, I could get another half a belt out. So we need to hold on to that thought in the future in case I need to expand science. And saying this is legendary science, at least that's the plan. So, yeah, the chance I need to expand is probably pretty slim, but we'll have to find out in the future. Today, we plan on actually making the science. I want to make all the science. I want to make cryogenic science in the legendary, which has that 6 times density, to hopefully in the long run, stop producing the normal science. Because although the normal science is going all right, you know, we're doing our best. We have a problem that we just don't have any ice. There's just not enough ice coming down here, and I could come up and I could fix this, and I could have some sort of dedicated ice machine, but realistically I think our better option is we're just going to choose to upgrade to legendary. So today's plan is whack this together hopefully fairly quickly, and then maybe even look at our rocket launching capabilities. But before I get to that, I need to ask that very important question. Of course, can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like. I like to borrow a like for, well, legendary science. If you did enjoy the video, you didn't think it was worth your like, then by all means, you can have your like back. First thing I want to do is dump my inventory's worth of lithium into all those machines. Can I add a single heat pipe there? Because I've intentionally left you off so I can burn on what's in my inventory. This is going to bring out our lithium plate, which for the moment, we're just going to bring to, I don't know how far I want to bring that out. No. I'm going to leave that right where it is. Okay, up here we have our ice. Our ice is our other ingredient, and I need to have machines. Machines are going to be probably an interesting part because, well, like I said, I want as many machines as possible. We're going to start with, that many. That many looks good. And can I get, pipes. Let's do with pipes first. So we're going to need a pipe here. We're going to need a double pipe here, a double pipe here, and a double pipe here. Or a single pipe there. Can I have in to in? No. Look, just copy that with the underground to there and there, and then if I can copy all the pipes from the top and put all the pipes at the bottom, we should have a start. All right, next thing I need is going to be my bar swap again. Can I put in? We're going to put in items at the top probably, and we're going to take science out the bottom. There, and there. Okay. Next thing I need is, of course, I need lovely beacons. Can we put a beacon here? That's our first tile, and then we're just going to drag the whole lot across, and then we're going to have to work out our heat pipes. Okay, heat pipes. I need to bring materials in and in and in and out. Okay, with that done, what are our options when it comes to beacons? if I remove a beacon, well, I make a gap beside the beacon by one tile, then I can bring heat pipes in, heat this whole area, and then move this slot to here, bring a heat pipe in, heat this whole area, and then you can technically be heated from the outside, probably. You have 4 beacons, 4 beacons, 3 beacons. I don't like you having 3 beacons. Can I move that way? 4 beacons, 4 beacons, 4 beacons, nice. And 4 beacons. Okay. In theory, this should be a copy, flippy, pasto, presto, we've done so. It's far too long, but I might want to extend out the build. In fact, everything out there doesn't do anything for me. And you are still in range. Nice. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't get a crafting speed of anything because, well, everything's frozen. So can we remove this? That goes the other way. Can I remove that belt of rocket fuel? And actually, okay. First off, can we throw heat pipes in? I need a heat pipe here to here, obviously. I need to heat the machine, so we'll do that from this side and bring you out. Can I move, no matter what, they're going to be in my way. Okay. Can I put you here, legendary? Can I put you here, legendary as well? Can I drag this heat pipe through to here, through to here? We need to go into there, and then through to, that is the tile, into there. Cool. Can I do that part? All right, can I come to the bottom? I run out of heat pipes. I run out of heat pipes. Okay, at least in my inventory. Can I bring that to there? And then this doesn't need to touch the machines, which saves me 1 heat pipe. It's very important to save a heat pipe where and when you can. Okay, can I just copy some heat pipes and do a draggy droppy? Cool. Can I do this from that view? That way the bots don't put stuff in my inventory and then take it out of my hand when I run out of them. Okay, can I bring this around? You're not at max range. What's max range? 1 tile out. Okay, cool. Can I put that there then? And then bring that into there. That should be everything well heated. And then, well, we need to actually test that. So can I put you here? And can I put you here? Do I have rocket? I do have rocket. Can you have just a little bit of rocket? A little bit more rocket. You have a lot of rocket fuel. Cool. We're going to try that. That should heat everything perfectly evenly. Everything should be able to power on. More importantly, I should be able to ask Max Rack Calculator exactly what our speeds are going to be. Because at the end of the day, I really want to have probably as much as I can get out of this build. So you're going to be doing 14 in... Oh, okay. We're going to need more power. Okay, we're good. You're going to do 14 in and 5 science out. I was sort of hoping I'd have more. But you have 8 beacon, 8 beacon, 8 beacon, 8 beacon, 8 beacon, 8 beacon. So, there's 6 machines. If I do this and I just set this to 6, that means I need only 28 lithium plate and I need 84 ice. Ice we have potentially half belt's worth. So I could do 8, I couldn't do 9. So you know what? Let's just do 8 then. I missed that and I missed that. Okay. So with that done, in theory, I should be able to copy that, I hope, and paste that there. And also paste that there. Okay, not quite. Can I put a beacon here and a beacon here? And, okay, so you have 8 beacon, whoop, you have 6 now. Okay, I don't like the fact you have 6. Which beacon can't you reach? This beacon, 1 tile too far away. Okay, can I move you over 1 tile? Can I plug that in there? Can I move you over 1 tile as well? Can I plug that in there? You should now have 8, 8, 8, 8, 6. Okay, so we've got another 6 now. Can I put you here? And you here, just to confirm 8, 6, no. I'm hoping it's not a power problem. So you have 6. Why do you have 6? Because you're now 1 tile too far away. Cool. And you are also 1 tile too far away. So if I do that, you should now have 8 again. Nice. Can I plug that there and that there? You should have 8. You should have 6, but I should be able to put 1 here and 1 here. And it'll say 8. It won't reflect the right speed because obviously they don't have heating, but with a couple of heat pipes thrown down, this should be our build. We planned this went together in a hurry. Okay, can I put this? Actually, no, I need to have that basically. Can I put that there? I possibly don't need the heat pipes, undecided. And I do need to bring heat around the end. Heat. No, actually, I don't need to heat that. That's our output. Okay, I do need to heat this end, which will be our output as well. So can I bring heat around to there? I don't have to heat this side because we're not going to be outputting anything here. That's going to be the end of the build. All right, so that should be our build. Now, if our outputs here, the original rocket silos were based around getting an input here. We might keep that where it is. We might not. But I do have plate down here and I have ice up here. So no matter what, we need to decide where this end's going to be. On top of that, I need to bring the other two pipes down. So I need to bring down the hot and the cold fluid. Cold fluid is here, and my problem is hot fluid really didn't travel very far. I made it, and then I consumed it, and then I cooled it all in one spot. I can't just, well, I could make new hot fluid down in the new position and also cooling the new position, but the problem is you guys consume 6 cold and then output 3 hot. And that's not going to change. The ratios don't change with productivity modules. You just get more stuff out the other end. So I either need to tie into the existing system or reinvent the wheel. I like the idea of tying into the existing system. The question is, can I run a pipe down here cleanly? Okay. Can I run this pipe? Can I run that around there? So it's definitely heated. And we'll see how lucky we get. So here. No. Okay, so you're going to have to stop just outside. And then that accumulator needs to go away. And actually made it fairly close without too much issue. So I can, and that's the lithium plate that we were delivering. And actually that's lithium plate as well. So can I put this here? Now, I can plug the cold pipe in the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. We can just flip the machines. That's the easy part. So that's the cold. The hot is all the way up here. So if I can bring the hot to here easily, I should be able to just run right up against... no, you have to go there and there. Right up against the existing heating infrastructure. And we should be golden. Okay, we're going to run through that heat pipe and then just move around the side. That's the belt delivery for lithium plate into these rocket silos, which we're no longer using. Can I put this here? And then here. I'm going to remove that. I can't make it to there, so I'm going to go to this side and then this side and then, well, here, and probably there. Okay, can I move you up one? So I need to remove this. I can put that there. I can remove that. Not needed. We don't use that. I can put one heat pipe there, one heat pipe there, one heat pipe there, and that should be all we need. So I double check now. Everything should be heated. This should be the cold pipe. This should be the hot pipe. We should be good to go. All right. So obviously with cold being the top and hot being the bottom, I'm going to vertically flip you, and then can I just copy and paste that? No. Okay, vertically flip all of you, because I think it makes more sense to bring in the cold at the top and take the hot out at the bottom. Next thing I need to do is need to work out where we're going to be building this, and the answer is up at least half a dozen tiles. So can I move this to this location? Or I just slide it all the way up? I think we're just going to slide it all the way up. Actually, if I put you there, we're going to put you here. And do I want to go to the right? I want to go to the right, I think. Can I put you here? Cool. All right, so with that done, I need to bring this being our ice down a tile. I need to plug this in the heating grid, which we'll have to do. Well, look, this will do to start with. We should plug that in there, and that can start heating. I need to bring my lithium plate. So lithium plate's going to come to this tile, and then we can head north up to here, and then this is going to go this way. So we just need a little jump there. And I need to plug this into the heating grid. I need to plug you like that into the heating grid. And I need to heat this part, but no, let's heat that part. Let's plug this in, this in, this in. Can I do that from there? And then we can heat that. Okay. I can't get heat into this piece, not easily, but we can just, well, underground that, and then I can drag in heat from the grid right there. Okay, power. Can I make you legendary? Can I make you legendary? And can I make you legendary? And legendary, and it hasn't completely solved my problem. No. Okay, can I throw a legendary substation here at the end? And then we'll work out, we'll worry about the other side in a minute. Okay, can I put heat here? That's the only actual tile that needs heat, and that tile needs heat. All right, so that should mix our two items together. That should be our two solid ingredients. Now we need to worry about our, well, our food ingredients. So can we grab this, drag this out to, well, the coal's right there, and the hot is right here. Well, that seems like a match. So can I get rid of that, and that, and that, and that, and we're just going to link that together and link that together. All right, with that done, I need to grab heat and bring it around to, well, yeah, I need to bring it around to that side. It's just easier if I do it no matter what. Okay, can I drag this into here, and then I can heat that, I can heat that, go in a straight line, I can heat that, and can I drag heat to here and to there? Okay, so it should be everything heated. It's going to take a second to warm up the stuff right in the middle because, well, it's an awful long way for the heat to travel. I can't put you, actually, no, there works. Can I put you, no, it doesn't help me. Right, we're going to put you here. That should power up everything here. We just need the heat to arrive. So once the heat gets here, from both ends, because I need the liquid to come in on the side, one side, and the solids to come in the other, we should be able to crank out, well, an awful lot of science. You're still not calculating one, are you? That says 8 machines. That is 8 machines. 9 was too many for a belt, right? 112. Yeah, 9 is too much for a belt. I could have a one that was worse off, but I prefer not to. Can I just put you there? Cool. All right, so that is you guys up and running. We're now producing some legendary science. Next thing I'm going to do is I need to load them into rocket silos. Now, I have this wonderful build that fits inside my heating grid. We've gridded up the whole of Aquilo. The catch is, well, it's not really a catch. It's perfectly fine. It only has, how many is that? 24 rocket silos. You know, nicely based in the middle. I'd like more. If I could get more in, I'd definitely like to have more. So what I want to do is make the bots work for their power and remove everything. Yeah, just hardcore remove everything. Remove all the foundations. Remove the whole lot. Have my inventory fill up instantly. And then we're going to start from scratch. Because I think I can get in a couple more rocket silos if possible. Can I do this? And you're going to go there. Can I do that as well, just so we have a blank starting grid? Can I bring this to here? I don't want any of this. And can I bring that to there? Again, I don't want anything existing from the original because I never got around to publishing my previous blueprint. I really should because I'm very proud of it. But if I can come up with a better answer, I prefer to publish a better answer. And I think I'm going to have to wait a minute. No, I just need to click that button. And we have every single construction bot is active and just about every logi bot is active. And the weather reports are doing all right so far, I guess. And power is actually perfectly fine. All right. So I don't need that heat pipe. Yep. And our solids are going to come out, well, our science, not solids, are going to come out basically here somewhere. Can I plug that in? Oh, no, my suit's about to die. Perfect. It has already died. Okay. Give me a sec to have the robots finish cleaning up and maybe charge my personal bots just a little bit. Armor's recharged, and now it's time to get to building. So, I want to maximize my space. So, we're going to have, well, actually, can I copy that? That way it gets all the modules. 1, 2, 3. Probably helps if I turn them back on. Let's leave a gap. 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't fit 8. Okay, we're going to bring in heat from the front. We can bring in heat halfway. All right, on top of that, I need to get, well, insertion. So, can I have 2 boxes, 2 inserters? I want to have stack inserters, but I want to have them in legendary. That's going to be very important because I want to be able to load these solids as fast as possible. Can I do 2? Actually, no, can I do 2? Can I do 2? Yep, we're going to move the solo over by a tile. Can I cut you two? Can I put you there? And can I cut you? Can I put you here? All right. Step number one. Step number two is I need to get rocket parts in. So I'm going to use a couple of inserters, and then I'm going to use a couple of long-head inserters. You might notice on the previous build, I brought in everything via box, which leaves a lot of robots flying around. But I have rocket fuel right here. So if I can get rocket fuel delivered to this tile, let's go belts. This tile right here, we might be in for success. And that means I can bring heat pipes to this tile and heat the boxes, the inserters, and the belts all at the same time. So we're going to try it. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but can I put that there and that there? Can I copy one of these and paste it here without rocket fuel? Can I cut that and put it back and then paste it there? Cool. All right, so that'll do those two rockets. That'll obviously do that one rocket and that one rocket. That could, well, that's going to definitely require an underground, 'cause I'm pretty sure I'm bringing a heat pipe in from above. And then we should be able to do... Can I copy the pair again with the heat pipes? Can I put you there? And then I guess you're going to go there. I could probably reverse you. I could definitely reverse you. If I reverse you, then you're automatically going to get heated. So, yeah, that should work. All right. So, that would be plan number one. Now, plan number two is I need to get resources in. Now, if I use a standard inserter, that would work. I could, you know, access a belt here, let's say. But if I use a long hand inserter, I can then get heat through, which is probably going to be pretty important because I still need to drag heat pipes in from... I can't just drag heat pipes in from the middle because by the time the heat gets from, well, this tower where we're generating heat to this tower to into the heat pipes and heats everything, this tower would have to be very, very hot. So I'm going to need to leave myself a gap, obviously. So can I put you there, and this is loading, and this is loading. Okay, so that should be one set done. Now the question is, can I take a copy of this, and actually can I put down a belt here so we have like a marking line, paste, vertically flip it, and line that up. Okay, the roboport has to move, but I can live with a roboport being moved, and we should be able to paste that there. Okay, that brings a new question. If I'm bringing in a belt of material here, can I bring in two belts worth of material? By putting a belt there and a belt there, and moving you down, and moving you up? No. But if I put you here, no, because you're not going to hit the box. If I put you there, and I put you there, and I put two belts in the middle, and then I cut everything again, poor robots, and move it up a tile, then I can have two belts worth of material right here. Now this is right on the edge, I probably need to move it in a bit, but it means I could put a splitter here, and potentially feed two belts in the back. So, am I going to start putting undergrounds in now? No, we're not going to put in undergrounds now. We're just going to do things with straight belt. You obviously end right about here. And then I need to get these undergrounds connected. So, can we do this underground from, well, say here to... Not quite. Okay, can I go here to... That's pretty good. That's pretty close. Okay. So I should be able to copy that from the top and paste that on the bottom. And then we can go from this one. Actually, can I just bring up that paste? That works again, and it works again, and then it should work again and work again. Okay, things going the wrong way, but we can fix that shortly. All right, so step number one. Step number two is, well, our actual resources, which we're going to be launching space. I had two tiles, so let's try two tiles. Actually, that one might not work because it's got the extra space in the middle. Can I have you face that way? And you go to here, okay. And you go here to here. Can I remove all the foundations there? Yep, and the bit I'm standing on. Can I copy that? Can I say tiles? I don't know if that's going to work. Can I go... What do I have? I have two tiles. So we want two tiles paste. Definitely didn't work. Okay, can I remove that? And then we should be able to go two tiles again and remove that. Okay. do have a little bit slightly larger gap in the middle, but that's to bring in heat pipes. Also need to get power in here, and also, well, rockets. No, not rockets, but launching rockets. I need to get in roboports. Okay, can I put you... Okay, let's assume... do I even assume? Okay, let's assume I'm going to put you here. Legendary. Let's also assume I can get power... I should get power all the way to there. Okay, I like that. Can I get power down the middle to... No. Okay, I can get power there. That powers everything with three substations. Okay. Doesn't give me robot coverage yet, but we can work on that in a second. Can I take all of this as is? And yep. And can I put it right underneath that heating plant? Yes. Okay. And how many tiles do I have here? Please make it 5. I really want it to be 5. I have 4. Well, that's a shame. Okay. Undo. Sorry, robots. Move everything down 1 tile. Okay. If I have 5 tiles, that means... Can I get legendary straight away? Can I put you here? You're on... Oh, no. I don't want you on automatic launches. I want your manual launches. I don't want somebody to start bringing things over and dumping things down. Okay. I can put a roboport here, and I can put a roboport... Well, let's put it there. That way it gives me a little bit more room around the outside should I need to run any resources. You, I'm going to put... Can I put you halfway down? My battery just went very flat. Oh, can I put you here? Alright, so with that done, it should just be probably a lot of heat pipes. So let's go to map view so the robots don't nick off with my heat pipes as I try to put them down. No, you're going to have to go over tile. I want to tap into the actual heating tower. Can I run this to here? Yep, you're further away to start with, so it's fine. Over here, what do I need to do? So I need to tap in, well, first off I need to start building heat pipes. So let's just go straight around, and then straight and around, and then tag that in there. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Yep. Yep, and to there, you add 2 different things. Okay, can I move you back a tile? Can I move you back a tile? Can I put you in there? And then I need to do the right-hand side, which should be up, down, straight, and then to there. Same thing here. No, I'm going to go part of it that middle belt, and then down without that tile, and into there. Can I remove that, please? Yeah, all of that. All right. Then I need to plug into the actual main heating grid. So can we go with rocket fuel's going down, but I need to hit potentially this belt. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so if I put that there and then I put this, technically I went how long, but let's put it there for symmetry's sake. Okay. So I need to get rocket fuel into this, which should be as easy as you and you. Does give me less heat pipe options, but that should be fine. Can I run an underground the wrong direction so I can flip it and then plug that or remove that? And then I need to heat this, so we're going to bring heat around that side and into there. I need to heat this guy as well, and there's nothing stopping me doing here to here. And then plugging that heat in. And I need to bring my resources in the middle, which will need, a heat pipe here and here. And keep going. I need to have, well, I need to have heat there. I need to have heat. It's going to be longer. No, it's not going to even be longer. I need to bring heat to that point, heat out of that point. I need heat here. I need heat here. This will technically... Why am I going that way? I should be able to just horizontally flip you. And horizontally flip you as well. So they're touching this heat pipe in the middle. That makes life so much easier. Horizontally flip you. And horizontally flip you. It does mean this needs to go here. This needs to go here. That shouldn't be an issue. That has to go there. That has to go there. And that should be solved as well. You need heat here and here. Heat here, whoop, there and there. You need to bring heat around to this heat pipe, and around to this heat pipe, and heat here and heat here. Oh, and of course, here, here, and the top side. Now, I do have frozen rocket silos. Frozen rocket silos are very bad, because if a rocket silo is frozen, it has cargo in it, and you try to launch that cargo from other rocket silos, they also refuse to launch. So, yeah, you never want to have a rocket silo freeze. Just FYI. Can I put you there, you there? Okay, so we're going to go beside the loading boxes. That's where we're going to run our heat in. Put heat there, heat there, heat there, heat there, heat there, there. That one. Even the ones that are attached already to existing heat grids, I want to make sure they have a second connection. You can't reach. Okay, we're going to put an extra row port. Technically, the middle is like here, so I guess right there. And then in theory, my belt's going the right way. My belts look like they're going the right way. In theory, I can take all of that and paste it there. And you're going to plug into the heat pipe at that end, and all I need to do is get rocket fuel into that tile, which is going to be difficult because I have a wire there, and that wire, that spot. Okay, so if I move the green wire, which can't stretch any further, of course it can't. Okay, so let's start with inserters. You're a stack inserter. I'll put you there, and also there. Can I go with... If I go an underground there to there, I then need to take the green wire, which can't reach there, but I can bunny hop it through that. Okay, so then I can bring heat pipes into here and into here. It does make the opening a little bit more narrow. I don't know if that's going to be an issue because I need to get, obviously, our science into that opening and then all the way through, but it should be okay. You don't have power. Okay, so I need to have more power. We can throw... You also don't have power. Okay, well that definitely reads the case for. Can I put a substation? You don't reach by one tile. Oh, that's not annoying at all. Legendary. Okay, now it reaches fine. Okay, can I put you, say, here? And also say you won't reach the airport. Okay, there. That should do us. And that should heat everything, power everything. I obviously need to take this through and plug that into that heat pipe. And we can see this tower is 80 degrees. This tower is 75. This one's, what? 134. It's fine. This one's 157, so it's obviously just had some fuel added. You're 200, so you've also had some fuel added. You're 130, so you've had some fuel added as well. And you're legendary. You're not legendary. You are now. You're already legendary, and you're already legendary. It just means that when they burn the fuel, they burn it faster, which makes heat faster. I can plug that to there. That side's 100. This side's 30. That'll move heat to the south, which should heat up all this fairly quickly. And I really think that's our finalized design. So now what I need to do is get science from here into here. Now, previously, on every other planet, what I've been doing is I've just been having uncapped boxes. What I want to do this time around is I want to cap the boxes. I want to cap every single box to 1,000. Probably should have done this before I duplicated everything, but it's fine. We're going to walk very slowly, it turns out. Can I go to here and plug those in, and rocket. Okay. No, that tile goes away. Okay. And you're obviously have a little bit of a boo-boo right at the end. Yep. I didn't drag it far enough. Okay. What was up to? Okay, so can I cap you 1,000? I can cap you 1,000. Okay. We're just gonna cap every box to 1,000, including the requester boxes. I don't really want you with filters, but sure. So you're going to reach the far side. That should be fine. Cap these ones to 1,000 as well. Yep, they've got plenty of storage. And then I can do these ones. So they're all capped. Can I remove that and cap all of these as well? So if I'm only going to have 1,000 parts, 1,000 items in each of these rocket silos, that's fine if I'm launching science. If I'm launching something else, I might need to change that. But for science, I only want 1,000. And we're going to have to buffer some stuff on the belts, obviously, but it's coming out stacked. So, you know, the belts hold a certain amount. And actually, how much are we producing? we're producing 37, so I don't have to worry about double-siding the belts or anything, but I do want to buffer the science. Now, on Aquilo, normally, let's start with normally. Normally, you would have a belt buffer. Belt buffer would look something like this, you know, with a little bit of belt, and I'll turn them back on in a minute. And you have a couple of inserters, I have a couple of inserters on the other side. You sometimes, you know, disconnect the belt, up to you. You put in some boxes, some more inserters, boxes and inserters on the other side. And then, of course, you bring the resources around and into that belt and other way into that belt. The problem you might notice is that's going to be very hard to heat. Very, very, very hard to heat on the fact that I can't get heat into any of the internals. So I only end up with one box worth of buffer, which would work. But well, if I'm going to make legendary science, I want to have a lot of legendary science. So I need to reinvent the buffer wheel for Aquilo. So, we're going to have, well, let's start with the basics. I need to have an inserter. I don't need these to be legendary. I do want the chests to be legendary because they hold more. We go from holding 48 to, if I scroll this all the way up, 120. It's a little bit more storage. Okay, I need a belt in the middle. This is going to be resources in. I need resources out as well, and obviously out as well. Okay, I should be able to take this and do that. As long as I have heat pipes on this side of the build and this side of the build, we should be able to heat both sides of the build. Then I need a new problem, and that is I need to get this heat pipe to touch that heat pipe, which, you know, I can do, but then I need belt here. So we're going to need an awful lot of undergrounds. Can I bring you to there, and then that should do me? And can I go away substation? Thank you. All right, can I pick this up, flip it, and put it there, and then wrap that around the top? That should let me heat all these boxes. Obviously, I don't need these guys at the end, but I should have something that's now tileable, and I should be able to do this. That should give me a decent sized buffer. Are you going to live here? There's a roboport in the way. It's a little bit in the way. Actually, let's start with how I'm going to get science into this. Okay. Can I put science not beside the heating pipe? Actually, I can do, yeah, we can go beside the heating pipe. And then I just got to zigzag it out by one tile so we can get the underground out. Can I turn those guys back on? Because they should be charged enough. It's close. That's actually not too bad. Okay, so I already have heat on most of that. I just need to have a heating pipe there and there. And that should heat that. This, because it's got the zigzag there, has already been heated. We're slightly north of Half Bay, I think. But maybe it works. Okay, so you go there. One tile further would actually get me in. So can I actually move you one tile further? So then I can just do this. Now it's going to filter onto both belts. That's perfectly fine. I just need to add heat there. I need you there. Can I move you up just a little bit? Not that I needed to, I guess. I could have just... No, let's move it up. Yeah, okay. Also means I need to have an underground that leads in, well, from here. So can I move there? No, without the robot. Can I move this? I want this to go down, right, maybe there? These are coming out with underground. Okay, can I just put you somewhere? And then let's try and work out this part. So you need to go into there. You need to come out here, and you need to come out here. Okay, so straight away I need to move you back at least a tile, so I can bring this belt down, this belt up, which means I need to have heat, well, I need to have heat right the way around the outside, because it's going to be easier than just trying to heat the inside. I don't need this belt to connect to here, because I want it to go through the buffer no matter what. The buffer's going to be too long for me to get out. So I'm going to go and remove that part, I guess. And if I bring this to here, we still can't go straight down, but we can go close enough. Okay, can I, in that case, move you and put you actually right there, because I don't need that anymore. Can I put you here? Alright, so I can now move this forward just a little bit. Now the roboport's not in the way, and we should be able to bring this to here, and then go down and into there. And I don't need that anymore, which I'm going to trash, which is going to be unfortunate. Can I grab a bit of belt? I put a bit of belt there, a bit of belt there. I don't need that heat anymore. And in theory, I can plug this in here and start drawing heat off that. I can plug heat in there and start drawing heat off that. And I just need one heat pipe in there, and that should heat this corner. And we should start buffering. Lopsided buffering, but buffering nonetheless. Can I plug that in there? And technically, I guess we can plug this around the outside. Alright, power. Sure, I can work out power for you. This guy looks legendary now. Well, that guy moved too far away. He got destroyed. Can I put you there? No. That's how you can reach one another. Okay, so that is my legendary science coming in. These are stack inserters. They're going to have a bit of an issue of just holding on to science, which probably means I want to downgrade them to normal. I'm happy for them to stack stuff on the way out because I want it to come out in a hurry. And then we're going to start loading up boxes. Now, I'm going to have an issue that I need to have 1,000 in the box, well, 1,000 in the rocket silos ready to go. And of course, we're splitting this 2 ways. So for the moment, can I have an output priority? We're going to load out everything in the north. Can I turn off trash unrequested? Clinical with that, what you're holding, that, all of this, and that's as far as the science got. This is as far as the science got. Okay. And then can I guess, load that. Okay, other thing I want to do is I want to have a request chest because everything's in steel chests, so none of it's actually in the network. And obviously I want to request in any legendary that happens to be in storage currently. And we're just going to use a normal inserter and it's just going to get shoved up or down. I don't really care. As long as it goes somewhere and it doesn't live in storage and gets launched off into space. So, you have not enough. You have 560, 400, 112, 400, 60, 60. Yeah. The long-hand inserters are going to be a little bit slow. Lots of science going to pass by them, which is perfectly fine. Because in a roundabout way, this gives me more even loading across all the rocket silos. Sure, the front one's definitely getting a little bit more than the rear ones. But the idea is I can buffer up a whole bunch of science on the belts. And then when we're ready, when the ship shows up, we can launch now, what's that? 28 silos all at the same time, which have legendary science, which is, we'll call it 30. 30 silos times by 6 is 180. And of course, we're going to have 1,000 science packs. So this all launching at the same time is equivalent to 1,800 of the normal science launching to space. Yeah, sure. You know, we do have normal science and it's still building and it's still producing and it's still launching. It still has a ice problem. And I have no idea if 1,800 is going to be enough. Also, I have no idea if we're going to be able to keep up on our legendary ice. The plate we should be good on. I can have lots of that for at least a few thousand hours. The ice is a complete unknown to me. In fact, actually, no, the ice is a problem straight away. I need more than one inserter. And you are not legendary. Okay, you can be legendary to start with, and then I need 2 inserters. Oh boy. Okay, how do we get 2 inserters into this mess? Okay, so you're my backup. You're my, okay, everything's hit the fan. I need to turn power back. Oh, I need to turn heating back on. So, let me move that to there. So, you are very important. You're critically important infrastructure you need to be attached to, well, the hub. Can I change you? Can I give you a filter of, where is it? Nuclear fuel. Yeah. Can I move this? Can I put this here? And, you already used the fuel. Okay. What do I create a legendary? Oh, it carries the fuel over. Cool. Alright, so that gives me a little bit more space. New problem. I need to get fuel into this from the belts. So, obviously, that's not going to work anymore. So, can I have a normal inserter? Can I have the red wire go to there? And copy your settings across. You'll have to disappear. And can I bring this belt into here? I really hope that, oh no, we're connected around that one. Okay, that sort of works. Alright. That means I can put you lost your wire. Okay, I can put you over here now. I can bring red wire to there temporarily, maybe? And I move you to here. And that probably doesn't fix the red wire. Ah, it does. Okay. Can I remove... Alright. So, you have your red wire. You don't have a condition. Cool. Your condition should be heat to 60 degrees. That says 200. Okay, 200 it is. We're going to warm you up to 200. Done. Okay. And you... I know you're set to 60. Okay. Did you put nuclear fuel in there? Somebody did. Oh, you put stuff in there. Okay. So, that solves that problem. I need to move up the top. So I can... Oh no, because I can't put 2 instead of inside one. I need to have heat pipes, just like we had with the buffering. Yes. Okay, if I put you here, I can then output to this tile. If I can output to this tile, I can then underground to here, and then I get side load. Does that affect your heat? I don't think it does. So can I try that? Can I go from here to here? Things are going to freeze for a second, but I should be able to do that and unfreeze them. And then I need you to be 2 tiles longer. So I can do this. So then I can plug in there, and then you're going to refreeze shortly because you're not connected to the heating grid. I'm hoping I don't need that substation. And okay, I did need that substation. Next closest substation over here. Nope, you're not going to reach. I'm going to put one here. Cool. There. Help me. Okay. So now I have double wires. Double wires we can fix by bringing wire to here and then to there, which means I can underground from there to there. And then in theory, I can drag a heat pipe right through all that storage and into there. Okay. It's a mess, but Aquilo is a little bit of a mess. Okay. And we put storage there, and it should hopefully solve all the problems. It should. I can also... Nope. No, I don't want to copy that. I want to copy this. I can also add storage back here. Alright, so that should be more ice on the belt, which should lead to more science on the output. It does. They're now running at full speed. Nice. Which should lead to more science heat. Science. We're doing 5.3 of the normal science. And, well, we just doubled it from 1.6 up to 2.2? 2.2 times by 6, which is 12. So this one little build is producing science, well, technically, twice as fast as the original science, which is good. I'm very happy with that. On top of that, I'm not really limited to the ice problem. Well, it's not ice, it's the other one. It's this one. It's the ammonia problem. I'm not really limited to having too much ammonia, which is then going to break everything. So, okay, I need to also make sure the legendary helium plate goes back into the hub. Or directly into this somehow. Yeah, because I don't want random things hanging around storage. But I can worry about that later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. You have 1,000. You have 1,000. You have 600. We should fill up reasonably quickly. Also means that this ship, which is currently in orbit, can I cut this back to 20? 20. And then we have 28 silos. Can I go with this? Let's go with 28,000. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Obviously the first launch is going to be a little bit horrible because it has an entire buffer, but this should work. And I'm probably going to have to add more conditions down here, but I'll worry about that. And I'm going to, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. Oh, we're going to have to add conditions here as well for the empties. All right, we're going to do that with smarts. Yep. I'm going to do that one smarts. And you have legendary fusion, legendary cryogen, legendary reactor, and legendary explosives. Nice. You should be a very, very meaty ship. But, like I said in the coolest video here, as always, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Also, if you're interested in the blueprints, of course, they're all available to Patreon members. It's my way of showing a bit of appreciation to those that financially support the channel, because AdSense does not get you everywhere. But with all that said and done, I'll see you in the next video where I guess we have to deal with the Aquilo. Fagola is out of science, maybe we can do Fagola instead.